And good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Wednesday morning to you. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. This is what I call my morning musings as I share, share a good cup of coffee with you. Hopefully get your day started off well. I do so appreciate hearing from so many of you telling me that you start your day off by watching morning musings with your cup of coffee. Well, I appreciate that so very, very much. Well, we are examining the eschatology of the parables of Jesus. Now, let me say this. Some parables of Jesus are not eschatological in their thrust and in their focus. Well, we're not focused on those parables. We are dealing with the parables of Jesus in which he focuses on the coming of the Lord, the judgment, the resurrection, etc., etc. Okay, with that in mind, Jesus told a parable about a man who owned a vineyard. And he sent servants at the time of the harvest. He sent his servants to the vine keepers to gather the fruit. They persecuted those servants. He sent more. They persecuted them. Finally, it says, he sent his son. And they said, this is the son. Let us kill him and take the inheritance for ourselves. So they seized the son, they killed him. And Jesus asked the Pharisees standing around him and the scribes and the lawyers standing around him, now in your opinion, Jesus said, what will the master of that vineyard do? And from their own mouth they said, he will come and utterly destroy those wicked husbandmen, and he will give that vineyard to another man, to another leader. And Jesus basically says, out of your own mouth you've condemned yourself. And he said, by the way, have you never read the scriptures which said the stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone? Verily I say, the kingdom of heaven will be taken from you and given to another nation, bringing forth the fruit. In order to properly understand this, we must realize that in the Old Testament, Israel was the vineyard. Israel was the kingdom. And Jesus was illustrating here the long history, the sanguinary history of Israel in persecuting, in killing the prophets who had been sent to them, to call them to righteousness, to call them to repentance. They had continually slain the prophets. Jesus will say in Matthew chapter 23, which of the prophets have you not slain? So Jesus is accusing Israel, and specifically the leaders of Israel, of being guilty of the blood of the prophets. But notice, he likewise says, he predicts in a subtle manner his own death at their hands. And as a result of that, they understand that as a result, you just really have to catch the power of this. They understand that Jesus says, you tell me, what will the master of the vineyard do? Well, verse 41, he will destroy those wicked men miserably and lease his vineyard. Well, notice verse 40. That would be at the coming of the master. What will that master of the vineyard do when he comes? And they said, he will destroy those wicked men. We have here a prediction of the coming of the Lord in judgment against Israel for killing the prophets and for killing Jesus. And there's so much more here. And we will develop more about this parable of the vineyard and the vine dressers. But for now, you must realize that Jesus is focused on Israel as the vineyard, the leaders of Israel as those who were responsible for producing the fruit, leading that vineyard, if you please, into righteousness. Instead, they killed the prophets. They would kill the Son. And Jesus said, when the master of the vineyard comes, what will he do? And they said, he will utterly destroy them and give that vineyard, i.e., give that kingdom, to another people. This is incredible stuff. Don't forget, we have 2 resources on the parables. Number 1, the 2006 Preterist Pilgrim Weekend. Absolutely fantastic material with 6 speakers. Number 2, 32 lessons on the parables of Jesus, in which I cover Matthew 21 extensively. Go to my website, eschatology.org or bibleprophecy.com. Order one or both. Mention that you saw the offer on YouTube or Facebook, and I'll refund your shipping. Hey, we got great things to see from Matthew chapter 21. You don't want to miss it, so we'll see you on the flip side.